Round 2 of the NHL Playoffs is fully underway, and we've had crazy comebacks, underdog surprises, and overtime magic. The NHL Playoffs are starting to get out of hand, and it's incredible to watch. Let's break down every series so far and pick up from where we left off. Sunday, Hockey Justice. The NHL doesn't know how to schedule games, so on Sunday we had a Game 7 of the first round and a Game 1 of the second round on the same day. Considering we're all ready to move on from round 1, all you need to know is that the Stars' forecheck and cycle game was the ultimate difference in a 7-game showdown with the injured reserves. Jack Eichel was also this close to burying a go-ahead goal that could have been the game winner for Vegas, but the hockey gods brought justice to the NHL. Ottinger holds down the fort, and the Stars take the series in 7. Afterwards, Vegas' coach Bruce Cassidy said he was proud of his guys for battling through injury, and aside from their cap antics, it still took 7 games for the best team in the West to take them down. Dallas moves on to face Colorado, and the injured reserves can finally pack their shit and head to the doctor's office. We quickly moved on to the second round between the Rangers and the Hurricanes, and something to look out for is the 5-on-5 play between Carolina and New York. Carolina holds the edge when creating offense 5-on-5, but 3 minutes into this one, New York gets through Carolina's 1-1-3 neutral zone with a set play. Zibanejad catches it in the middle, and he kicks it out to Jack Roslovic, who can get a controlled zone entry. Roslovic's speed and Kreider's net drive opens up the seas for Zibanejad, and the Rangers set the tone, making it a 1-0 game. Then we get a taste of how Carolina is going to do damage in this series with a simple low-to-high play and goal with traffic in front. 2 5-on-5 goals for both teams, but then the special teams of the Rangers just took over. Carolina has had a terrific penalty kill this season, being ranked number 1 in the NHL, but we saw firsthand how the Rangers can potentially exploit it. The Hurricanes play a diamond structure, and part of what makes it so good is their aggressiveness and their ability to pressure puck carriers effectively. However, the Rangers have the personnel to beat that pressure and use either Panarin or Fox to get the puck to the middle to Trocheck or down low to Kreider. Panarin's going to beat the pressure to get the puck low to Trocheck. He then uses his body to shield against the pressure to get it down low to Kreider. And just like that, they've created a mini 2v1 down low. It's 3 slick backhand passes, and Zibanejad gets his second of the game. The Rangers then do the same thing to take a 3-1 lead. The Rangers personnel is able to beat the pressure and get the puck into the middle to Trocheck. He makes a similar pass to Zibanejad, which is stopped, but then Trocheck picks up the garbage New York style, and the special teams have a big night. Now this series is going to be tight, and the Hurricanes will respond right back with a goal from Marty Necas. With the Rangers playing a 1-3-1 neutral zone trap, there's a couple of ways that the Hurricanes can get by this. They can either make short chip plays with support, similar to how Edmonton dismantled the Kings 1-3-1 in round 1, or they need to have their defensemen carry the puck to the red line to freeze the Rangers while having a weak side forward attack flat-footed D to create a speed differential and find a pass. The Hurricanes go for that route, and it makes this a 1-goal game. Just when it looked like the Hurricanes were beginning to come on, Artemi Panarin starts to cook, and he gets a squeaker by Mr. Anderson himself, who probably wants that back. And that would be the ultimate game winner despite a late goal from Carolina with the extra man. The Rangers take Game 1, and we get a peek of how both these teams are going to exploit each other in this series. Buckle up, because this one may be in for the long haul. Monday, rivalry renewed. Now that the Bruins have officially postponed the Leaf Cup raid until next season, they get to meet the Florida Panthers in round 2. The rematch from last year saw the biggest comeback and choke in NHL history, and it's about to get a part 2. Except this time, it's like Boston and Florida have switched roles. No one is giving Boston a chance in this series, while everyone thinks Florida will make quick work of them. After a scoreless first, we saw just how dialed Jeremy Swayman is. Panthers get an early rush chance, Reinhart tries the old pass off the pad by going low, and Swayman just kicks out that leg last second to Rob Barkov. These two teams are very similar in how they create offense, as they both rely on their forecheck to get things going. In the second period, it was Tkachuk getting things started. As the F1, he forces the play to his left. Verhaeghe instantly pressures McAvoy, who wants to feed his center. That pressure forces him to rush the bank pass. Barkov comes in as F3, and Tkachuk buries on the opportunity. Then Boston responds with a very similar goal. Boston's F1 and F2 force a rushed bank pass off the boards. It bounces right out to Pasta, and Boston finds a way to tie the game. It's that same aggression and confidence in Boston's game that created the second goal, as it's the rookie Mason Lohrei with a beautiful pinch along the wall to force a turnover. Boston sends it back down low to Lohrei, and he goes Roof Daddy-O Jr. where Mama hides the Nutella. Disgusting way to score your first NHL playoff goal, and Boston would follow that up with a late goal from Brandon Carlo. Now with a 3-1 lead, Florida pressed by outshooting Boston 16-8 in the third, but Jeremy Swayman is just in one right now. The guy is tracking the puck with calmness, his second efforts are saving the Bruins bacon, and the guy is just pure zen in the crease. If you're a shooter and you see him laughing in the crease and having a grand old time in there, you know that you might be in some trouble. Credit to Jim Montgomery in this game too, because after Florida got a flurry of chances, he called a perfect timeout to settle the boys down. Shortly after the timeout, Boston responds perfectly by getting the dagger to make the game 4-1. And this was a perfect example of a coach understanding the ebbs and flows of the game to help his team win. The Bruins steal game 1 and shock everyone. Some people are going to say it's rust or it's just game 1, but confidence and a hot goalie is a dangerous recipe. Afterwards, Montgomery talked about how he feels his team has an elevated confidence after getting through the first round, and you can tell how it's translated onto the ice as there was zero hesitation in their game tonight. If Boston continues to meet Florida's aggression, this series will be a lot closer than people think. Tuesday, overtime magic. If you thought game 1 between the Rangers and Hurricanes was good, you haven't seen anything yet. This game from start to finish may have been the best of the NHL playoffs so far. It did not take long for the Heat in this series to go to another level, as there was some message sending early in this one. To start, the Rangers were buzzing as they capitalized on a missed switch from Kotkaniemi in Carolina's man coverage. That leaves this winger responsible for covering 2 guys, and a lucky bounce goes right to Lafreniere, and he's in a perfect spot to use the screen and go top bunk. Then Andrei Svechnikov decided to completely change the complexion of the game. The puck swings around the net, Shesterkin comes out to play it, and he doesn't even try to avoid him. He goes straight through him, mini stick style when you're playing against your little brother, clips Igor, and right away, Shesterkin wants a piece. How about Adam Fox, though, going for the Phil Kessel special by just barely missing the tomahawk on Svechnikov? That could have been bad for everyone, but chaos ensues right after, and now the heat of this game has gone to another level. Shortly after, the Rangers send out Rempe, they flick the puck over to Fred X, and he stops right in front of his grill to send a message. The Hurricanes hate that, there's more pushing and shoving, but that moment seemed to spark the Hurricanes. Svechnikov continued to be a dog as he does a great job of using his frame, protecting the puck all the way around the net to feed it to the point for a Jake Guentzel tip in front. Once again, we see the Hurricanes go from low to high and beat Shesterkin with traffic in front. It would be the same story in the dying seconds of the first as well, as they score a similar goal. So far, the majority of the goals Carolina has scored in this series has been with traffic in front, so there's clearly a trend on how the Hurricanes want to create offense. Now, in a tight, greasy series like this, it's the creativity of players like Panarin and Fox that can break things open. Panarin and Trocheck initiate a 2-on-2, but the Breadman cuts inside to go east-west and delay his entry ever so slightly so that reinforcements can join the play. He slips it over to Fox, and this man shows the patience of a monk to wait for Lafreniere to arrive at the back post, and then he slips it through the triangle to tie this one up. It's a good thing Fox is not a boxer though, as he has a little run-in with Guentzel, gives him a couple lefties, and then drops like he got shot when he gets the hook. Thought we'd have to bring out the stretcher there for a second, but he gets up right away, does his job, and sends Guentzel to the box. Hockey is a beautiful game sometimes though, and in the dying minutes of the second, it's a gorgeous pass from Aho to Guentzel in the slot to bury and take a 3-2 lead. Unfortunately for the Hurricanes, the Rangers are sick puppies on the power play, and once again, they find Kreider wide open in front because they can beat the initial swarm pressure that the Hurricanes bring on the penalty kill. It's the PETA guy from Sausage Party and Chris Kreider to tie the game, and this one would go to overtime. First overtime would solve nothing, as both goalies made some fantastic saves, and we also got the Trouba train out in full display, as this man absolutely Superman leaps to try and destroy Marty Necas. Lucky for him, he loses his balance and just misses out on that friendly elbow coming for his temple. We would have to wait all the way until double OT to get our winner, and it just had to be on the power play. It's a broken play off a good block from Carolina that creates chaos in front. Once again, it's Vinny Trocheck cleaning up the garbage in New York fashion to seal the dub for a bonkers game. He's got 5 goals in his last 5 playoff games, but the real star was Shesterkin stopping 54 shots. That's now 29 straight playoff games without allowing more than 3 goals. Rangers are up 2-0, and Game 3 pretty much becomes a must-win for the Hurricanes. Meanwhile, Game 1 between the Stars and Avs are getting underway just 48 hours after the Stars played a Game 7. Colorado is coming in cold, and it showed early in the first period. Now, coming into this series, the forecheck of the Stars that made the difference against Vegas may have more trouble against a much more mobile D-core in Colorado. However, Dallas would smother the Avs D along the wall to get the puck to the point, and it's Ryan Suter who floats one from Jupiter, and it finds a way because of all the traffic in front. In the first, it was all Dallas as a set face-off play and power play goal gave them a 3-0 lead. This game was inches away from being 4-0, but Josh Manson says not today, son, to Jamie Benn and stuffs him on the goal line to keep it 3-zip. That would be huge because the Avs offense started to get rolling, and it was led by Cale Makar. First, he sets up a goal on the power play, then gets one of his own, and then follows that up by creating the tying goal by joining the rush. Makar works his magic, it bounces out to the Nate Dog, and Colorado ties this game after being down by 3. That would mean we would get our second overtime for the night, and if it wasn't for this absurd save by Alex Georgiev on Tyler Seguin, this series would be 1-0 Stars. The dangerous part about this Avs team is their speed all the way down their lineup, and we see it firsthand as Miles Wood holds down the speed burst button and makes a power move to the net to slip it around Jake Ottinger and complete the comeback. The Avs take Game 1 on the road, and judging by this game, it looks like we're getting a Stanley Cup matchup in round 2. So what do you think of round 2 so far? Who looks good? Who looks mid? Who pissed you off? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, if you want to see more breakdowns for these NHL playoffs, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on notifications.